Hey, folks, how you guys doing? What is going on with you tonight? Wednesday, March 16th, and I'm live at 6 minutes early, 5 minutes early, give or take. Let's see who we've got going on in the chat over on the YouTube, Chasing Truth Sean G, along with Paranormal Radio app over on Dark Waters channel. This is Chasing Truth. I'm live, and we're going to do open lines tonight. I absolutely love these nights. It's just one of those things that's just impressed me with all the people that call in. All right, let's see. Who do we have tonight? We got Bass. Hey, brother, what's going on? Bo, Nita, Sue, Edward, and a bunch of other Paradox Fossils. Hey, what's going on, brother? And definitely, let me hold on just a second. Let me put a banner up right here, right now. So if you want to call in, 931-994-6917, 931-994-6917. Lines are open. If you want to call in with whatever you've got going on, that's fine with me. Look, hey, hon. Good to see you. I saw that you went live earlier today. Shock. Definitely like and share all this stuff. Z Wiki. Hey, it's been a hot minute since I've seen you. Looking forward to hearing what's happening, Sean. I'll tell you in a little bit, but today has been an interesting day to say the least. From hot pockets to stuff that actually really matters. You name it. Doll, hey, what's going on? John. I appreciate every one of them showing up, and please share this out to your socials. And hey, how's your pups doing, Z? You still got is it 4 now or 3? How's Zeus doing, Lakel? That new puppy that you guys adopted or whatever. But we got a few things to go over. No big deal. I will be moving my physical location, and probably, I don't know, as soon as I can figure it out, due to family matters. Zeus's Vault's Mini-Me. I dare say so. Everybody, my mother is doing well. She's recovering pretty well. She's about ready to start doing her rehab. I think she's medically getting close to where they're starting to talk about rehab this, rehab that. And I'll probably be moving in to help out with my mother. I can still do this show. Don't think that I won't be doing this show. But I will definitely be moving in with my mom and helping her out. A lot of stuff going on there that will not go over just because it ain't worth saying. But other than change of venue for me, but not a change of what I'm doing right now. I'll still be doing my 3 shows, if not more, a week. And holy cow. Let's see. Sue, how's the weather down there, Sue? You still getting rain or what's going on? John? Anybody else in here? All right. Zeus and the Mini-Me of Vault. That sucker's going to be a big dog, man. I'm telling you. That sucker is going to be a big ass dog. One second. Oh. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Wow, is all I can tell you. Hot pockets all over the freaking place in the last few days. You just wonder, do they lose steam? I believe the set of hot pockets I'm messing with probably will be losing steam pretty soon, but you never know. Weather has been good lately, thank goodness. Well, great. So it's getting into fall down where you are, Sue, right? Just to make sure. I need you guys to say a little prayer for my sister, but she's going through some stuff that she needs prayers for. But I want to say a quick prayer before we get going on here. I humbly ask our Lord Jesus Christ and our Heavenly Mother Mary that if it be in accordance with your holy will, that all curses, evil, demonic involvement, and or attacks being sent against us, my show, the folks that participate in my show, listen to this show, be blocked, be sent back from whence it came. Dear God, please bless those that are in need of help, medically, physically, mentally, spiritually. Dear God, send your angels of mercy to them, and your will be done. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. All right, now there you go. We got this thing going on. Official start for the Chasing the Truth, 9 o'clock edition on the East Coast. Central Time's 8. Over on the left coast, I think it's 6, something like that. Appreciate it, Sue. Had a good long talk with my sister today. Good long talk. Tina, what is going on? I ain't seen you in a hot minute. Chase, brother, what is going on with you? So, what I'm going to do, we got the call-in number 931-994-6917. I've got the StreamYard link. I'm about ready to pop on there. Trina, hey, honey, what's going on with you? Wolf King is in the house over there. So, if you want to drop in, say howdy do, whatever you want to do. Wherever you may be from in this great blueberry of a world we are in, please call in. Or, there's the link there in the chat. Oh, let's see. Okay, if you want to drop in, I'd love to have a chat with you. We ain't talked in a hot minute. But there you go. Let's see. Anybody. All right. So today, what we've been doing, actually, there's been a big fire at a Walmart distribution center in Plainfield, Indiana. And it looks pretty bad. I hope it's under control. This was, when was it, 6 hours ago? Please say some blessings and stuff over there for those folks. Richard Elmore, what's going on? Hey, Lord Thaddeus Craig. Wes, what's up, brother? The hot pocket killer of the day. Oh, hello. Why are you ringing like that? All right, Chase, are you there, buddy?
What's going on, Mr. Radio Podcasting Legend? What's up?
Whatever the hell I am. Going all right, brother. Can't complain. Can't complain at all.
Right on, man. I'm over here leaving. I was just leaving your neck of the woods.
Oh, really? So you're over in Virginia, Tennessee, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I just left Virginia. Virginia, Tennessee. I wasn't all that far from you, probably about a couple of hours.
Wow, man. Hold on just a second. I need to turn off a piece of equipment real quick. Had to turn off some audio equipment so it wouldn't ring every time somebody calls. There you go. All right. So what are you hauling today? Are you
man, paper, some big paper rolls. I'm hauling a big old pile of weight across all these mountains and hills, and ain't getting paid crap for it, man. The rates that went down in the trucking industry, the rates are going down, the fuel's going through the roof, so it's not looking good for truckers.
So they're trying to make up for the fuel cost, more or less.
Yeah, if they were making up for the fuel cost, the rates would be going up, but they're not. It's getting worse. It's basically twice as hard, even though it's bad enough that the diesel fuel is going up like it is, almost $6 a gallon. But what's really bad is normal rates where I would get paid, if I went 1,000 miles, I'd get paid 4,000 something for that, right?
Yeah.
I'm only getting paid like 3 now for that kind of distance,
So what's the difference? So what's causing that decrease?
Some of it's seasonal. It's a little bit of seasonal stuff going on. A lot of brokers and truck, like these big trucking industries, like the big companies, they'll take whatever. While like independent truck drivers or owner operators, they're not going to sit there and take a load like that. So they'll deny those loads. And what it does, it kind of causes either everybody has to stick together and pretty much say, hey, listen, you're going to pay us $500 more. Or what's going to happen is a lot of smaller trucker companies who just started out this year, or that like owner operators that truck broke down, they're about to go broke or whatever, they lose out. They lose their businesses. And then after a couple months of this, after about a month and a half, they'll flood the market with trucks, and then new people will come in and buy trucks, and the market will go back up. Mm-hmm. So it happens. Like it happened in 2020 when the pandemic hit. It's certain times it happens. But whenever some major events happen and you see your food going up or whatever, that plays a huge role in it.
Oh wow! So are you seeing a decrease in certain loads, certain types of loads?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Big time. Big difference. Well, like loads I was taking before I was taking these loads, and let's just hypothetically say like that load would pay me $3,300. Now that same load that was paying 33 is only paying like 28. You know what I mean?
So, what kind of time frame are we talking? How many miles are you traveling for that $2,800?
But this one, I'm only getting paid $3,300 for 1,100. Well, 1,100 miles right now. Right under 1,100 miles, I'm only getting paid 33 for, which garbage. I should be getting paid at least 38. A good rate would be 4 for that same load.
Wow. So what was the diesel price where you just come from?
So the diesel price in Virginia is about $5.45, $5.55. And these are Flying J's, pilots, places. These ain't mom and pop places. Mom and pop places are usually a lot cheaper. They're usually about $5.20 or $4.99 or whatever, right?
Right.
But the fuel that most truckers use are pilots and stuff like that, because they get discounts with their cards and stuff. So Tennessee is pretty high. They're like $5.75, $5.85. I've seen some at $5.90 around there. So it's just every day it goes up. I was in Texas. One night I was like, I was in Alabama. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get fuel, but I was like, you know what, I'll get it tomorrow when I leave out, right? When I got there the next morning, it went up 25 cents.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pissed.
Yeah, I heard that fuel up in just like regular gasoline and diesel up in Ohio jumped 19 cents overnight. So that makes perfect sense to me. Damn.
Yeah.
It's all
me, but I get paid percentages and stuff, but when these rates start going down, that really affects me.
Right. Damn. So that $3,300, how much of that are you actually taking home?
I was taking 30% home, but I had, I'm a nice guy, so I knew like it was hurting. The guy that owns the company, he only has four trucks,
right?
So he's a smaller company, So he was just telling me it was hurting and shit. So I told him, look, if it helps, I'll do 27%, and then whenever the market goes back up, we'll renegotiate or whatever, So. If I look out for him, he'll always look out for me. So that's the way I look at it.
True enough. Have you made any pit stops and did any hollering for Bigfoot or Dogman out there lately?
No, but I got me I think I might got a juicy story coming, boy. Good Lord.
Oh, what kind of story you got going there?
Well, this young lady, I was at a Hershey's chocolate plant, man, and this young lady ran up to me and was like, "Oh, you're so handsome, blah 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 blah. Do you got a wife?" I was like, "Yeah, I got a wife." But she was just really nice, and she was just nice or whatever. So we got to chatting, and then she was in like Afghanistan and all that. But she was telling me a bunch of listen, she got some cryptid experiences. That's all I got to say. So I'm trying to collect that story. I'm gonna see if I can get her to come on with somebody's show, or whatever, and just
Sure.
kind of get her stories and stuff, first. But I think they're gonna be juicy.
Wow. Oh, I tried to call that dude with the ND. I forgot what was his name. Tony.
Tony, yeah.
Yeah. I left him a voicemail, but I got back in touch with him yet. I wanted to talk to him.
Yeah, I texted him. I do too, man. I wanted you to. I texted him today. I haven't heard back from him yet either, and I made a phone call to him. He didn't answer, so I don't know if he's got something going on or what, because he seemed real positive about all that, and so he's probably just got something going on. I'll just reach back out when I get a hold of him. I'll see what he's got going and see if he wants to reach out to you.
All right. Well,
I think that would be great. It was so crazy, man. Like how similar your stories were. It was so crazy.
Yeah, that tattoo on the back of his hand, I was like, wait a minute, I've seen that eye. So I love it. I love to just chat with him for a while just to see what's going on. How close and similar our stories are together. Who knows? I might make him remember something, or vice versa, or both.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that too. I was telling about your book and stuff. He thought that was real cool. He kind of, from what I could tell, starting from his hand, I didn't see all of his tattoo, but the way he explained it to me, he basically wrote out all his experiences up his sleeve on his tattoos. Which was pretty. It was cool.
Instead of writing a book, he did in tattoo. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool.
Wow. I don't know if I'm
leave it down to earth.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm that into wanting a tattoo that bad, but I'll just write the book and see. But definitely, yeah. Who knows? I might actually. The lady I was talking to, we were talking about tattoos a day or so ago. So who knows?
Man, I don't know if I had an experience like that. I don't know if I'd want to see that eyeball every day. That seemed pretty intense.
I can see it every day. I don't have to have a tattoo. That's just the way it is. So.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
So what's your destination right now? What's your destination?
Arkansas. Yeah, it's either Arkansas or Arizona. I get them mixed up.
Arkansas.
It's got to be Arkansas. I think. Let's go with Arkansas.
All right.
It's right next to Texas, so whichever one that is.
Well, that's probably Arizona. Arizona or Arkansas.
Yeah, Arizona,
Arkansas is above or right at Tennessee. So I don't know. I'll have to look at the map.
Okay.
But
I see what I'm saying. Like I get those two mixed up so bad. I've done that all day, man.
True enough, brother. True enough. All right, man. Keep it between the mayonnaise and the mustard.
Hey, you know it, brother.
All right, man. I'll talk at you later.
All right.
See you
later, man. Bye-bye.
Chase the Trucker was in Virginia, and I don't know why in the world he's. No, he picked up some, I think, paper products or something like that. But 931-994-6917. If you want to be a part of the show, I will drop a link in the chat. You don't have to show your face on camera. Who knows? Just make sure that when you show up, just have a microphone and you're good to go. There you go. So, wow. Big Cole, what is going on, brother? How you doing? Shock. Who else is in here? Oh, May Reed. Hey, what's going on? Wait a minute. Let's put you. I hadn't I was about ready to put you in timeout, but I'll do something for you. May Reed, gave you a blue wrench there. Hopefully everything you if you don't want the wrenches I given out, just say, hey, I don't need my wrench. Actually, I had somebody tell me they didn't want a wrench, and I was like, wait a minute, why not? But oh well, there you go. Donnie Cho's in the house. What is up with you, brother? I've enjoyed your shows over there with Siskel Siskel. Why do I want to say Siskel and Ebert? Cisco. Gee whiz. I actually did a recording with her probably about a year and a half ago now. I think something wound up going bad with that recording, but who knows? Who knows, brother? What is going on? So anyway, big news today. My mother, which thank you for all the prayers that's going on, have been given up for my mom. She broke her hip a few days ago, and she is doing fantastic, a lot better. Hip breaks. It's part of my training was to deal with hip breaks or the post-op stuff with respiratory therapy. Usually with hip breaks, you wind up having a little bit of psychosis, maybe a little dementia going on with it. And, the older you are, the more prone that you have. You're under a lot of stress. You're under the anesthesia for a long while. So you wake up kind of goofy. But mom apparently wasn't goofy. So that's good. And I believe I made a decision. I'm going to move in with her. But I'm going to transfer all my studio equipment over there. I'll be able to run the show just like normal. Hopefully, well, the sound quality will be the same because of the equipment I've got. So hopefully that will work out just fine. 931-994-6917. And thanks again for all the prayers and stuff. And say a prayer for my sis. She's going through a little bit, so you never know what you're going to get when you answer those phones. Let's see, anybody else in the house there? So anybody got a good story, perhaps? It's actually been kind of calm in this old spooky house of mine. I haven't heard any kind of, I don't know. I think when Cisco did that old school TV paranormal show list, I did see some stuff in the living room and something laying on my couch in the living room. Couldn't quite make it out. It was like half a second, corner eye. Boom, there it was. Hey, Derek, what is going on? Appreciate you kind of showing up. Appreciate you greatly. But let's see. Let's see. How many days have I wrote in my book? Let's go back down here. I think I'm on day 34, maybe. Let me go to the community. I've been doing a daily 34, 34. So nobody wants to call in yet, but 931-994-6917. Call or text that number. With Skype, I won't be able to text you back because it costs me a dime a piece to text you back. It's a little bit expensive, but you can certainly text that for free if you'd like. If you're over on the Paranormal Radio app, 931-994-6917. And folks out there in the chat, the Blue Wrenches, copy and paste that link. For anybody who wants to jump in. If you're a Blue Wrench, you can certainly jump in. Definitely, without a doubt. What I've been writing about last couple of days is my conversation with God. I Hey, Shauna. Yeah. Well, you probably know the reason why I'm behind the angelic stuff, all the conversations you and I've had. Um, been talking about God, which if you want to talk about ghost, Bigfoot, Dogman, or you want to talk about my NDE, however you want to do it. Let's see. NDE, put a 1 in the chat. Cryptids 2, Ghost 3, or 4 for something else. Yeah, I found that's actually from Pixabay. Pixabay. That's usually if I go and do anything with poster wise, I am definitely going to Pixabay to see what's going on. All the above. All the above. Well, call in if you got all the above. Well, we'll do whatever all the above. So 1-1. So we got 2 in the fashionable D and 4 ones. All right. Well, it looks like 1's holding out, winning so far. Crystal says all the above. Oh, wait a minute. I do have something before you break into. Go over here to my show stuff. Junk. Yeah, here we go. All right. What is this, by the way? I really. Oh, wait. All right. That's what I need right there. Cool. From Midnight Amongst Monsters has sent me a little something. He does. I think he works down an oil field and has encountered a bunch of tree breaks and some Bigfoot stuff. I can't remember what state he's from. If he's in the chat, let me know. But let's share screen. I'll share what he sent me. All right, there we go. Apparently, this is some tree breaks. Midnight Amongst Monsters. And this is pretty close to oil field, so I'm assuming it's probably in Texas somewhere. And honestly, I can't tell you how big the tree breaks are or the trees that have been broken, but they're all laid in one fashion. Don Johnson, I believe I've seen Don in there. Don, are you in there anywhere? Don, if you're available, give me a call 931-994-6917. I'd love to talk to you about this particular picture. Got the Ohio Grassman stuff somewhere. But let's see, anything else on? Nope, that was about it. Let's see, pictures. Well, he sent me 2 emails, and one is absolutely vacant, and the other one has 3 of his show stuff. But that was the only one that, yeah, tree breaks. Interesting. Yeah. Nickel says those tree breaks look young and they're hard to break. Yeah. They got a lot of elasticity with those things. You never know. Kind of wonder who goes around and breaks these trees. If it's some dude or some woman or whatever you want to identify as, obviously Bigfoot. If you want to identify as Bigfoot, you probably want to do that. But why would somebody do that? Just I'm in the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of an oil field that I have no business being out there. Probably get some sort of security team on you if you were out there without any permission. So why would you break those just for random shits and giggles or what? Don't know. All right. So there you go. Stop sharing that thing. Well, let's see. Truth sent me some stuff. Buckets and drummer. No. I've already showed that catfish. Looks like a catfish with looks like crab claws on it. Now look at it. Looks funky. Totally funky. Let's see, where is this? Let's see. All right, StreamYard. I'm not going to play or anything because I think it's got some music. Yeah. That's probably pretty damn copywritten, but you know, I'll just do a quick. Son of a bitch. How is that playing? Anyway, there you go. All right, let's see this and then share this out. StreamYard. I got too many of these freaking screens open, but I'll do it anyway. There you go. That is actually over on my page, my community page, which I usually post at least once, maybe twice a day if some sort of radical news story happens. There was a 7.3 earthquake today off the coast of Fukushima, and I did not see if a tsunami hit, but I knew there was a tsunami, at least a tsunami warning, not a warning, threat around Fukushima. You remember where that 9 point whatever hit a few years ago and has been leaking radioactive water ever since? Why don't they talk about that anymore? That was all over the news for a while. Admin Authority, what's going on, Maggie? What is going on? Chris, brother, appreciate you showing up there, man. But what do you think? Is that somebody that just messed with a catfish and said, "Hey, I've got some leftover bait. Let's put these things on this fish." So I don't know. Half of me wants to say, yeah, that somebody's been cruel to a catfish, crabfish. Yeah, I believe we talked about that, Maggie. So, Cryptids Canada, hey, welcome. Appreciate you. Hey, if you want to, wait a minute, Cryptids. Let me go ahead and I'll give you a wrench if you want to pop your channel in there. Definitely go over to Cryptids Canada. She does a fantastic job telling cryptids stories from Canada. I'm assuming that she may cross the country line into the U.S. or wherever there may be a cryptid story, but she does a fantastic job. Definitely go over and look her up. But you never know. So, hey, Wes, are you still writing, or are you done for a little bit? I know you just released a couple of things. Hey, Isaac, what's going on, buddy? What is going on? So, anyway, here we go. Stop sharing. So the last 2 days, well, actually the last 34 days, I've been writing at least, the least I have getting. Is that that's a word in it? Getting. That's a new word, getting. The last 34 days, I have written at least a page up to, I think the most I wrote was 10 pages. I'm well over 120 some odd pages now. So of this thing, and some of it I look at it and reread it and go, okay, well, that doesn't sound crazy at all, but it happened. That's all I can tell you. That's my testimony. Um, my talk with God during my near-death experience, and Bass asked me probably a couple of weeks ago, "What did the devil's voice sound like?" And I sort of glazed over talking to God, leaped right into talking my conversation with the devil. And I can tell you, I haven't even touched on that topic, but I haven't even touched on God's conversation either. Strange enough, I asked God, why why so many religions? I've already told that story a couple of times. Um, Laura, what's going on? Nice to see you. Appreciate you coming in. And let's see. God told me with the religions that everybody understands when He speaks, or should. You have the right to ignore. You have the will to ignore Him and not hear Him or whatever. That's our will. And but the religions is how people commune with Him. So there's so many different religions, from Catholicism to you name it. We definitely have a myriad of stuff. If you're Christian, are you Baptist, or you Methodist, or you Holy Roller, or whatever, or are you Buddhist, or you uh, Muslim? You name it. Let's see who has rolled in. Hey, you got 53 people in here. Hit that thumbs up, by the way, if you don't mind. Hit that thumbs up there. Yeah, let's see. Anybody out there? I have to rearrange and get off of the Reddit email list. I can't stand it when they send me crazy emails. Appreciate it, Isaac. So definitely, God is well rounded for certain. Also ask him about why does everybody have light and dark in them. Have a light and have some darkness, and balance. Can't be all or one. There's some people that really try real hard to be all or one. All of one, end of the spectrum, either light or all dark or whatever fashionably they may think of. Curious Cat, welcome, welcome. How's anybody that? Oh, okay. Trina's making the social media. Hello, everybody I missed. She bugs me, and I bug her over on Twitter occasionally. So, anyway, let's see. I saw so much with God, and the weird thing is, I actually saw my birth. That freaked me out. I let a couple of people read what I wrote, bits and pieces of it about that. Actually, Julie, a really good friend of mine. Oh, yeah, here we go. There's one thing that you probably want to pay attention to: blue moon scents. I'm not getting paid for this. This is just a favor for Miss Wendy. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, blue moon scents right there. Link in the description over on YouTube. And obviously, if you're over on Twitter or Facebook, come over to Chasing the Truth, Sean G YouTube. She has been doing this blue moon scents for a while, and I think Bass has been helping her out with the possibility of acquiring a 3D printer. So who knows? But if you want something that is interesting, bath bombs to scents to candles to oils or whatever, I've got the link in the description. Check her out. It might be worth your wait. I think we've discussed maybe later on this year to do a small promotion and a small giveaway, but details will be TBA, to be announced. But yeah, there you go. Fantastic stuff. She's definitely poured her heart and soul into that. All right. Nobody's calling me? 931-994-6917. And a link in the chat. Well, where are you? Oh, here's a Blue Moon scent. For the link there. And then we got StreamYard. And here is the StreamYard. All you have to have is a microphone if you want to show your face on camera. You can. just make sure it is definitely G rated. I don't want to have a crazy whatever pop up on my screen. But there you go. Wow. Okay, let's see. I'm kind of hesitant to talk about what I talked with God for because a lot of it was so personal. So much was what was coming. Hey, Destiny, what is going on? I thought off. Okay, screen you're live on air.
Yeah, I think you know me.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, let's see. You may be Wes.
Yeah, I'd like to hope so. Hey, what's going on, man?
How's it going, man?
No, I wanted to. That was a good question you was asking. I am writing, but this week I've decided because you've probably seen I've turned out a lot of stuff, so I'm taking a break on at least for this week on stuff like that. I'm doing mainly more administrative stuff right now.
Okay, that's cool. So how many new pieces of YouTube did you do last little bit or release?
Oh, Jesus. That entire gunman story, that was like 4 videos. I've done, I want to say 8 or 9 altogether, different things that I've got working on. Also, I'm working on something called Out of the Darkness or something like that. It's kind of part of the calling that I've had, and it's once a week. It's kind of like spiritual stuff that I put out.
Okay, that's cool. Oh, you do these little short things of updates on what's coming next. I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm
pop
probably
out.
gonna put one out in the next day. Yeah, I'm gonna put something out in the next day or two. I actually have one, which is going to be. I'm gonna do it. There's a couple of things on cryptids I'm going to be releasing very soon. Also, a plan on before that. There's going to be one which is going to be linking because I know a fair bit. I'm not a genius by any means when it comes to biology or anything, but I know a fair bit about animals. That's been kind of a thing of mine since I was practically born. So I want to put a little of my knowledge out there on. Like I said, it's not vast, not even close, but it's something out there on like the connection between primates and Bigfoot and Sasquatch and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Which may actually help people understand their behavior. Yeah, this one's not going to be going the woo side of things. I'm going basically all based on science, at least on this one round.
Okay, all right, that sounds good.
And the next one's going to be kind of a surprise. I'm looking it up right now. It looks very interesting.
So what are you looking at?
Something called a raven mocker. It's very interesting.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Can you drop a hint?
Put one on about that soon.
Can you drop a hint?
That's what I said. That's what it's going to be about.
Well, kind of do a preview. Do a preview. Raven marker.
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't really know. Like I said, I haven't done too much research. What I do know is that these things, like I said, this is going to be my theory videos. It's not going to be a story. But it's going to be basically just different things I've researched about it and things I've looked online. I put that down, and just like I normally do with cryptids.
Right. Wow.
But overall, nothing special going on for right now. I'm still working on Werewolf Hunter, but that thing, I reached kind of a mental block for right now because I've churned out so much, and that's why I'm taking the week off. Before it comes to any kind of thing or cooking. That way I can get some progress done later
Well,
on.
sometimes you just have to. Have a few people tell me, why are you writing every day? I was like, honestly, as much as I've got to write, I don't know how many heartbeats I got left to write all this stuff out.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. No, it was like with the gunman, that's what was going on with me. It was like, what the hell was going on in my mind? I could not get it out, so I had to write out.
Right.
Well, not really write. It's very rare that I write stories. I actually just put it basically brain them out. But some of the more epic stories that I've been doing, it takes time. I mean, hell, it took me, if I'm forgiven, close to a year and a half of that one I wrote. So, I mean, yeah, it takes a while to get it all out into something which is understandable and not gibberish.
Right.
But I'm glad to hear about your mom, that she's doing better.
Yeah. I think she's right in the stage where they're starting to talk rehab. So she's got about 20 days of rehab, and this is her second hip that's been broke. So she's got a full set of retreads on. Well, I guess you call it retreads. So
hey, whatever works, man.
Whatever works.
Gotta do.
But apparently she came through it. I have not physically seen her, but I'm going to be moving in with her and helping take care of her for the foreseeable future. But I'll definitely be able. I might have to take a couple of days off from doing shows, just depending on how it hits.
Your family comes first, man.
Yeah, during the schedule. But you never know.
No problem,
I'll be definitely not stopping this at all. So.
No worries, man. I'm going to go ahead and let you go here. I just kind of wanted to check base with you and let everyone know what was going on.
All right, bro. I appreciate you.
Be careful.
Bye. All right. Wes Vic. Thaddeus Cray in the house down there. Destiny. Well, congratulations about your cat. How long did it take to come back? Let's see. Where was it? Definitely he managed to stay hid for 3 days without being seen. Garage. Wow, sneaky little devil. But I'm glad that you were able to find him. And then there's Daniel Diva, Daniel Borzan, my co-host on Friday nights, Southern Supernatural. We'll be doing open lines Friday night. We don't have a particular guest, but I absolutely love this open lines format. You never know when you pick up the phone who's going to call, what's going to call, and with what story. Even Hot Pockets, you're welcome to call in if you want to. No, I don't have any problems with talking to y'all. Always fun to hear the Hot Pockets playing around in the background. Excuse me. Dogman Watcher, what's up, brother? Good to see you. And Primal Crime, man. All the usual folks are coming in and showing their faces. Appreciate y'all jumping in. Like, share, and subscribe. Share this out to your socials and make sure you're all everybody, including your cat, your neighbor's cat, your dog, your parakeet, and everybody that is, one, related to you, two, don't know you, but they know about the show. There's Marquita. About a week, maybe a week and a half ago, Marquita jumped on and told one hell of stories on the show. You're going to get those idiots going. Every once in a while. Every once in a while, you got to stir the pot. And sometimes you don't have to stir the pot and they just show up for whatever reason. So that's all I got to say about that. But I heard Vault got hit pretty hard 2 nights ago, or that's what Wes was telling me. And I think Truth said, was it Truth that was doing? One of you. I hate to say this, but I get you twins mixed up every once in a while. Between you and your brother, there, Bass. But one of you two were talking about having to hit go to town on about 16 or 17 of these Yahoos popping up. What does the bottom of the shirt say? Oh, okay. Right here. Search team, Hillbilly Apparel. Hillbilly Apparel. I love this shirt. I've had it for probably about a year now, give or take. Hillbilly Apparel, which, I paid every penny for this thing. Actually, no, I bought this about 2 years ago because I bought this about the same time I bought a T-shirt for my brother to be buried with. He wasn't buried in it, but they do all kinds of crazy stuff, and I bought him a Gone Fishing T-shirt, put it in his coffin with him. But yeah, so that's been September of 2019. So that's working on 3 years ago. So I've had this for 3 years. So I wore this to death. Still looks pretty damn good. But Hillbilly Apparel, shameless plug, but I don't get anything for it. There you go. Well, he loved fishing. My late brother, loved fishing so much. Oh my God, did he love fishing? He loved hunting, fishing. The only thing that his best friend, he passed probably a half a year, maybe 9 months before he did. His best friend saw Bigfoot, and I've actually told that story about Bigfoot over in Grayson County, Virginia. But his best friend believed in Bigfoot. Oh, I got Donnie. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Sean. How's it going?
Hold on just a second. Wait. I cannot hear you. For whatever reason.
Oh, am I muted?
Spectrum. Audio. Well,
Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
I don't know why I can. Yeah, turn this up. Maybe that's it.
Can you hear me okay? Right. Hello?
Nope, I cannot hear you.
Oh.
You're not muted.
I'm not muted. Hold on. Hello? Hello?
No, is it? Can anybody hear him in the chat?
Can you hear me?
That's weird. Let me make sure I got everything going here.
Oh no, they can hear me, but
my end.
You can't hear me.
I hear him. Okay, so it's my end. Okay, give me just a second. Let's go over here. All right, USB Kodak, virtual, and USB here.
I feel like my camera's extra zoomed in. It makes me feel weird.
Maybe it's my end of the spectrum. Not crazy. Oh, okay, I got you. Let's try that.
Hello, you
Now
hear me okay? All right. I do not know why this is not working. For me. Maybe I should just call. I could just call.
Again. All right. So let's see if I can get this stream. I have no clue why. I've got everything set up the way it should be.
No.
Well, shucks. Is there a way you can call in? I can definitely pipe you in that way. Yeah. Let's see. Do I have this is not muted, and that's not muted. Can you call in on the show number?
Yep.
Okay. All right. And I apologize for that. I don't know what that. Yeah, we can hear it, but I don't know why on my end I cannot hear him. 931-994-6917. And jeez Louise, what is going on with that? I just don't get. Why is it? Did I get this muted up here? Nope. Mute site. No, that's still good. Oh well, son of a biscuit. Well, that was a good thing that Thaddeus West called in. I don't know what the heck's going on with this thing. I thought I did sound checks before I come on. Let's see. Wait. What's this? All right, here we go. I got him. All right. Are you there, Doc?
Yeah, you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, I am there.
Okay, now we hear each other.
Oh yeah. Give just
Yeah,
a second.
yeah, that's weird. You know what? That might have been me actually, because I think that might have been me messing up.
No, actually, they heard you. Now, what I've done is I went back in my. Well, I don't know why this is not showing. Oh,
You know what? This is better anyway. I kind of didn't want to be on camera.
okay.
I just didn't know.
That's
Yeah,
cool. So, what's good with you?
Nothing, man. I was just listening earlier, and you said you had some kind of activity going, like the night of our episode. So now I'm sitting here thinking, man, did we cause something?
No, actually, I had this old place is haunted as all get out. You know.
So tell me about it, because I don't know the story about your house. Like, I'm wondering now.
Okay, so this old house is probably on the better side of 115 years old. It was
okay.
One of the first grocers in the area built this house with the feed store that was right next door. And I can remember when I was a teenager, standing under the easeway to keep out of the rain for waiting for the bus. And that old feed store, was there forever and a day. And this place actually had the original builders, like I said, was the owner of the feed store, and I actually parked cars on the footprint of the old feed store, literally. But this old place is haunted by at least one female and one male. Female upstairs, I thought I knew who she was, but apparently I did not know who she was, other than one night back when I was going to college. I come back from a clinical for respiratory therapy at a local hospital called Holston Valley up in Kingsport, Tennessee. I came back at probably about close to after midnight to 1 o'clock. And my bedroom at the time was upstairs, and my grandparents was living here at the time, and I just, had moved in here for a while I was going to college. Walked in, been quiet as a church mouse, and then, kind of crept up the stairs, didn't turn on any lights or anything like that. And as I was walking up the stairs, I look up, and there's this lady dressed in this period 1800-esque dress, like she was going to church, hair pinned up and a little cameo around her neck. And she's looking down at me like, who the hell are you doing in my house?
So she was surprised by you.
Yeah, she just, she stared me down. And I had walked up about 3 steps above where the serial switch for the staircase light switch was. And I kind of was looking at her for a good, probably healthy 10 seconds. Why I didn't scream out like a little girl or say, who the hell are you? Don't know. But it didn't happen.
You know what's kind of an interesting thought is that whatever thought you had when you saw her were probably the exact thoughts she had when she saw you. She was like, what is this thing in my room right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it was just
because it seemed like she was just as shocked to see you as you were of her.
Yep. Well,
so maybe like she's in her current time, right? She's in the 1800s, and she's sitting in her room, and then all of a sudden this apparition of this boy appears, and she's like, "What the hell? I'm about to go to church."
Well, this is
boy that shows up in all these weird clothes from
Yeah, I was coming in with scrubs, hospital scrubs on, so I probably did look weird to her. But apparently, one of the daughters of the man that built this place sequestered her upstairs and never let her out of the house. I don't even think she got out of the house for church, but she did bookkeeping for the feed store. So that's kind of strange. I've had people go upstairs, family members saying they don't want to allow the kids to go upstairs because of that haunting up there. My niece has come back downstairs and said, I can't stand up there because it just feels like something's right on her heels, kind of a pressure
So,
of whatever.
do you think?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you think the woman that you saw was the same daughter of the owner that got locked in her room and could only bookkeep? Do you think that was the same person?
Well, it made sense once I didn't know about this until I talked to one of my family members, and they told me about this particular person.
I mean, what if it was her mom though?
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. I don't know. I
Did you know anything about the mother?
When my family bought this place, there was a little old lady that I knew the son of the owner of the house, and I believe the little old lady was his wife, and she was like 100+ years old when I saw her. The faint memories of her, probably in early 80s, something like that, walking out in a big old house coat and one of those big sun bonnets to look at her son's crops, corn or whatever, tomato plants.
Yeah.
I remember her coming out of the back of the house, which oddly enough, she came out of the back of the house that's now boarded up and plastered over. There used to be a spare entrance to my utility room to the outside.
Yeah.
And actually, I saw a ghost go back and forth in my utility room into my bathroom on my security camera and back and forth. And I was like, why in the hell am I seeing that? And I said, oh, yeah, there's a door there. So kind of made sense that something was coming in and out of the house through that used to be door there. So.
Can I ask your opinion on something, actually?
Sure.
In your opinion, like what type of haunting do you think this is? Do you think this is more of like an intelligent haunting? Do you see this as like a residual thing? Do you see this as like some weird time slip thing? Like, how do you see it?
I think it's intelligent, the one upstairs, because I went up there one time. I think usually I'll go up there about once a month or something like that. But I will, have to, boot scoot up the stairs to get up there. And I went up there for I think I opened up the windows up there for the spring, air out of the house. So I went up there and we got this old 1968 Encyclopedia Britannica, the big, massive, weighs 1,000-pound bookcase. And I said, I had just started doing this podcast stuff. So I said, I wonder what they thought about in 68 about the paranormal. So I pulled out UFOs, and there's only like 2 pages in there. So I had, I kind of eliminated. Well, I had been stationary for a while, and I wasn't, having any blood pressure problems that I could, physically, mentally think, well, I did a lot of exertion that I'm not used to getting up the staircase. So, I had been stationary for a while and reading books, and all of a sudden, as I'm reading, whatever they thought of UFOs back in 68, I felt something touch my left shoulder. And then the entire, this is midday, probably about 1:00. The entire room went black. And I said, okay, I can feel you. Don't touch me. I do not like being touched.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean by the entire room went black?
The entire room was like the lights went out. There's daylight coming through.
The lights went out?
It was like I closed my eyes, but it was just like I went into a void. I said, please do not touch me.
Okay.
Please do not touch me. And as soon as I said that, I felt the touch release, and then the lights came back on. But like I said, it was midday. And, at that time, I had a discussion with my family about what was going on upstairs. And I said, you need to, I don't mind you being up here. I don't care that you're up here. So you can be up here and do whatever you want to, but as soon as I get up, come up here to do whatever I need to. I don't need to be touched. I don't need to be messed with. So don't bug me, and I won't bug you. Basically, that was the conversation I had. And
so I'm a little bit curious about like the time. Like you spent your whole life there, like with you and your family. Like what? How much time did you spend there?
My family has owned this place probably since early 80s, I think.
Okay.
Mid 80s.
Okay. So this is like sort of like your childhood home.
Well, not, actually, right? I'm probably about 13, 14 maybe 15 when we bought this place. Way back when.
So you're still fairly young, but you're still old enough to remember. So that's good.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing of it is my family owned the property adjacent to this house. So what they did was, the owner of this place, the son of the original builder of this place, started getting old, and he couldn't keep up with this big 2-story house. So they did whatever they did, exchanged property and whatever sum of money that satisfied both parties, and bought this place. I remember as a kid playing croquet in this backyard and eating from gooseberry bushes in the backyard. We had a pretty good relationship with the old owners of this place. Actually, the owner had twin sons. I forgot what those guys' names was, but I can remember them running around, and I can also remember an old lady standing in the window on the opposite side of where the house I am, or opposite side of the house that I'm in right now, on the second floor, looking down. And there was no lady in here that would match that description, other than the lady I saw back in my college days.
And you would just see her like at the window, just staring at you.
Just that one time, I remember seeing her looking through the window in midday, not during the day, not during the night or anything.
It was like midday. And how far away were you?
Probably a good 65 feet from. I was standing on the other side of the gate.
So like a fair amount of distance, but still enough to see that there's like clearly a person at the window.
Without doubt, you could tell who. If somebody was standing in the window, if one of the boys was standing in the window, I'd be able to tell, hey, there's one of the twins up there. Wouldn't be able to tell which twin, but or the owner of the house at the time. But this whole place has got all kinds of stuff. I've got one EVP that was recorded on. I was looking for when my brother last came in, right before he died, probably 4 or 5 months before he died. I had a security camera set up, and I was, when he passed away, I was like, well, I got to find some old recording or something like that of him. And I just happened to, wind up recorded him and having a conversation with him. But during that conversation with him, you hear this voice distinctly. I mean, it was not a whisper. It was not one that you had to modulate or anything like that. It would sound like a fourth or fifth person in the house that I had no clue it was. It was a male voice, sounded like a smoker's voice. It said, I wish you both would something, and it kind of drifts off in some mechanical something that pops on. I can't play it because I said I would not play it again, but if you look back probably about 2 years into over on Dark Waters, if he still got it up, you might be able to hear the recording that I released a couple of years ago. But I said I would never play it again, so I'm going to stay by it. But I have played it for people in private. But other than that, that's about it.
How frequent would you say the activity is? I'm just wondering.
There for a while, it was like every day. That's the reason every day. That's the reason I started doing prayers before and after each show. I thought
this was like a once a year kind of thing. I didn't realize it was every day.
No. Well, now I haven't Haven't seen anything since probably that Cisco episode that I
So how
referenced.
long? What was the last time before that?
Probably a week, give or take. But not to the point where I started having to do prayers and doing um, exorcist prayers. A friend of mine who's in the chat
Yeah.
gave me a set of exorcist prayers that she had researched and said, "Here, try this out, see if this works." And they worked. They absolutely worked. And I started playing monks praying exorcist prayers. That helped out quite a bit. Now, is that me being crazy? Maybe. But there was one I did a show here. I can't remember. Was it open line? Yeah, it had to be open lines because this was before I started doing Southern Supernatural on Fridays.
Yeah.
I opened up the door, and as soon as I opened up the door, it felt like there was some demonic presence on the other side of the door. So as soon as I felt
that can't be. That's not good.
I got the visual of there's something right on the other side of the door, and it doesn't like me. So I started doing a rebuking prayer and opened up the door, and it was gone, but it still had that heavy presence there. And then I think shortly after that, I started doing the.
So I'm just wondering. You said it's like almost daily. So like, what's like a usual thing that happens? Like, what's the most common thing that happens?
I see shadows, shadow people,
shadow
creatures. Yeah.
Okay.
I've caught it on camera. I've got pictures of it. I've got videos of something with a head sticking out of the bedroom I'm in right now doing this radio podcast. Yeah. Sticking its head out. Why? Sometimes I will do the show in my dining room, set everything up in my dining room, and do the show out there. But the hallway camera, you could see me on the left-hand side in the dining room, and right down the hallway is the bedroom I'm in right now, and you can see something stick its head out of the bedroom looking around. Actually, you could probably, I did a YouTube short on that. You probably can see it if you look on my short list there. I think I'm pretty sure I did put it. I know it's on my TikTok.
Do you get like? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just wondering, like, so what are some other things, like, besides seeing shadows? Do you also get, like, other, like, misplaced items, messed up dreams, things like that?
Misplaced items, absolutely. Keys, wallets.
Oh, that's got to be annoying.
Oh, yeah. I have had, certain items I will, definitely keep with me just about 24/7. I'll have, like, cell phones or something like that, or whatever, just randomly just disappeared. Like, well, I just had it with me, It's not like I get up and move and say, well, okay.
Also, it gets it's not as minor as people think. Like when you're like kind of busy and on the go and you're misplaced your wallet or keys, it actually gets incredibly stressful. That's something that people don't consider.
Yeah.
Like usually in these haunting shows, they say, "Oh, this guy misplaced his hammer. Oh well, oh shucks." But then eventually finds it and thinks it's weird. No, it's like I gotta run out the door. I'm late for work. Where the hell are my keys in my wallet? It gets bad, when you're in those tight jams.
Right.
So people don't consider that sometimes.
Yeah. Let's see. I've seen full body apparitions downstairs. There has been a couple times I've seen a gentleman standing in my living room in the middle of the day.
I've never seen a full body apparition. So what is that experience like? Is it worse or better than like seeing a shadow person in your room? It's like seeing a random person in the room in the middle of the day as if they were just there.
Yeah, well, it was dressed in period of clothing from the 1800s. Long sleeve, look like that, kind of a dress shirt that you and I would probably be wearing, with suspenders attached to the pants, and then pants will way too high, but the sleeves rolled up, and it's like double take. You look up, and you're like, okay, what are you? And for whatever reason, I'm usually looking at it, and I'm kind of passing it, and like, okay, did I just see that? And look back, and like, okay, it's gone. But I
Again,
got
it seems like he's just as confused by you as you are of him.
well, where I had that near-death experience, I think what these things do, they're kind of passersby, kind of lurkers.
Yeah.
And they'll walk in and
Yeah.
say, okay, somebody in here has a distinct link back to where they are linked back to. I think that's the way I look at it. But they kind of come in and say, okay. And I know this particular house was back in the 1800s when this thing was built, was a center point of trade around here. So it was not uncommon. I would, it's not a stretch of imagination to think that somebody would walk in.
A lot of people coming in and out, right?
Oh yeah, they did some metal detecting work in the backyard, and they found some hitching posts back there for horses and stuff. A bunch of D rings are in there. So
I'm just wondering, have you ever thought about bringing in like a psychic or a medium and have them just do
I've had
of the place? And
I've had a few pop in and say, hey, I'd love to come by and look at your house. And I'm like, first thing is, you don't know what they're bringing in with. You don't know what they're going to stir up. I'm not one of those that want somebody to come in and start doing their work, and then they start threatening or trying to provoke.
Yeah, that does happen. So that is a legitimate concern. Yeah, I agree.
But my theory is I can deal with what's happening. The only thing that really ticks me off is waking up in the middle of the night and seeing something standing right there.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
There was one instance when I first moved back in here where my family gave a half a damn and said, hey, Sean, we want to help you through this transition period where I lost my left leg about 6 years ago. So I woke up and I actually remember just, raising up on my elbows, looking at this thing in the corner right over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably about 4 foot something. And I physically, I was looking at it for like 2 or 3 seconds. And I said, well, I'm going to figure out if I can stick a broomstick up your ass. And
so what did it look like?
It was just it looked like a oval kind of maybe a short woman, maybe, or a short kid, but black, solid black. It did not have any
silhouette of a short woman.
Okay. Sort of, kind of, but it was solid. It blocked out the dresser it was in front of, and it just took off silently.
It absorbed the light around it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So this, that kind of thing. I've had something that looked demonic next to my bed, probably a little shorter, but was not black mass or anything like that. Wake up and go, oh my God, really? You're there? And, I'll say, rebuke in the name of Jesus Christ, please. And, get out of my house, be gone kind of deal.
Yeah.
Goes away. I've had some strange dreams. There was a house, which they finally filled in the basement. It was raised down to the ground probably about 3 years ago. And I had a lot of increased activity then in here. There was this old fellow that I remember, and I'm not going to say his name because if there's anybody around me listening to my podcast, probably will know his initial was J, but he was frequently I didn't know this at the time, but he was a well-known drunk, and my grandfather took care of him. Actually, some of the stories was that he would pass out in the front yard in the snow, and my grandfather would pick him up, bring him in, and warm him up, and then take him back over to his house, which was across the property line. And I kept seeing somebody that was, probably about the size of Jay come in, and he always wore the school colors at the time was blue and gray, and I always saw him in gray and maybe a little bit of blue, and say, what the hell is that? And anyway, the strangest dream I had, was the first time I ever dreamt of my grandfather was about this time. And I remember waking up and I jumped up. And usually, if I do this, I realize I have two legs in my dream, and then all of a sudden I just become conscious. Hey, I'm in a dream. What's going on? So I get up, started looking around. So, well, I'm in a dream. Let's see what's going on. And my grandfather's standing at the back door. So I walk from where I am now into the kitchen, and Papa's standing at the back door. And I said, Papa, you okay? Yeah. I said, what are you doing here? And he said, I come to get Homer and take him home. I was like, okay. And I said, okay. Are you leaving? I said, yeah, I've got to go back. And then he always had this little queer kind of childish grin when he gets a quick idea, and he says, hey, you want to come with me? And I thought, sure, why not? So he had this old Ford LTD black car, one of those square body black Ford LTDs. He hadn't owned in them probably a good 15, 20 years from that point. Parked out in the back, and my grandmother had passed away at that time, and she was sitting in the passenger seat. And that's the only time I've ever dreamt of her either. And my sister was in the dream. So we jump in the back seat like we're little kids. But I was 50 at the time, probably 49, give or take. And my sister looks at me and says, they're dead. What's up with this? I said, this is a dream. Don't worry about it. So I can remember traveling to their church in the car. And I remember just about every inch of every mile in the other town, go to the church. And here they pop out and say, hey, kids, let's go into the sanctuary. All right. So my sister says, hey, Sean, what are we going to do? I said, you follow Granny and I'll follow Papa and see what's going on. And I get out, and my sister follows Granny into the sanctuary, and I follow Papa, and he's jumping around. And all of a sudden, as soon as I walk through the door, I'm in this huge cathedral-size auditorium with oodles of people around. And he's jumping in. I'm like 6'3". My grandfather's like 5'2". So he's this little kid jumping around in the crowd, and I'm like, okay, he's bebopping around. Where's he going? So I run through the crowd, find him, and he's sitting there or standing there just dancing. I said, Papa, you okay? He just smiles, and he grabs a hold of my hand, starts dancing with me. And then all of a sudden he stops and he points down at his shoe. And he had like 3 different types of shoes. He had his little loafers that he pissed around in every day. Then he had a pair of walk around dress shoes, and then he had his church dress shoes, and he had his old brown leather dress shoes on. And he pointed down and had his shoe, and it was like a light brown color. And then all of a sudden, it looked like a drop of water popped on it, the leather, and made it darker brown. And then it started, increasing, and the brown and the darkness come up his leg and started kind of enveloping him. I said, you're about ready to go, aren't you? And he said, yeah, but I'll see you again. And then all of a sudden, he disappears, and I look around, and nobody's in this big, huge cathedral size, whatever I'm in. And I'll think, this must be his heaven. When I wake up, strangest thing, this place, at that time, felt like it was probably end of winter, maybe the first day of spring, but wasn't warm enough to open up the doors or anything. It was like it was springtime. That first time that you open up your windows or your doors to your place after a good long window.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah. It's like all the warm air and the nature and the
all the negativity, all the positive stuff just was in the house for at least 2 days.
Yeah.
So Crazy. That was one of the most impressive dreams I've ever had. I've had a few others,
Mhm.
but it had to do with a near-death experience, but nothing like that.
Why do you think the activity is so strong in that place? Other than the history, do you think there's something to do with maybe the history of the town? Maybe there was some Native American stuff going on, or does it lay on some ley lines? I'm like, I feel like this place, what's going on at your house is like really strong. Either you're really sensitive, or there's something going on with that location. You know, have you thought about like why?
Well, this place is this area is littered with underground streams, lakes, and stuff like that. My late brother said, told me about and showed me pictures of an underground lake not too far away from here. He had to rappel
Okay.
down like 100 feet straight down to get to go see this lake. And
All right.
but now, probably about 150 yards from my front door, across the street behind a row of two houses, there is an old railroad tunnel over there. And that thing is, we used to go there and grab some crawdads to go fishing with down the river, probably about a half a mile from us. So this is a naturally wet area. And I definitely know that underneath this house, there's either a spring or some sort of stream underneath this, because the backyard stays wet all the time. So I know there's definitely something going on. I've had people not wanting to go down in the basement. Yeah, it kind of creeps me out every once in a while when I have to go down there for whatever general reason I go down there. I've had people look down in the basement and said, "Nope, I ain't going down there."
Damn, is that bad? Wow.
Yeah,
that bad.
I've had people.
I've felt that like looking down before. I know what that means.
Oh yeah,
I understand what they experience.
Then I had a couple people had things thrown at them. I've been scratched in this place. I've been pushed in this place. Actually, I got to a point where I got when I come back and I was in another wheelchair, but I got pushed forward to the point where I actually had to put my foot down to stop my forward momentum. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And I looked behind me thinking, well, maybe my aunt or my grandmother, which, that's a very stretch of imagination there. But I got pushed forward. I could feel them, two hands on behind me on the back of my chair push me forward. Didn't see a soul.
Man, this kind of stuff happens like every day, you said? Really? That's crazy.
No, not every day.
Wow.
I literally, there for a while, it happened every day for a while until I got, a handle on the situation, started doing different types of prayers, putting different intent into it. And I'm not going to go too far into it, but
you started fighting back.
I started fighting back.
I get it. I understand. I've been there.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. You started fighting back.
Oh yeah, but there was some stuff going on in here that was not. It was meant to happen by something else. Is all I can tell you. But I figured it out. Did some things, and as soon as I interceded and did some things, it was like boom. Wow. Okay. Whatever it was that I destroyed that night, which I'm not going to go into why or the reasons. I actually did destroy something. I actually two somethings. Destroyed it, and as soon as I did that, it was, well, I don't know what the hell that was. I was feeling just a minute ago, but it's gone now. It was literally as soon as I just
kicked its ass.
Yeah, as soon as I destroyed it, it was gone. Period.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is.
I have my own story of that too, so I understand the feeling.
Oh yeah. As soon as I lit something on fire, the feeling that was associated with whatever was going on, that I like, where the hell did this damn thing come from? Why have I seen this thing? I don't know what was going on. It just popped up in front of me. I was like, actually, I was on a phone call with somebody. And then I said, I don't know where this came from, but it wasn't there a little bit ago. And I'm not, usually I am the only person in this place for days on end. Kind of sounds a little weird, but it's it's true. I've got
circumstances. That's just how
circumstances.
it works out.
Yeah, just the way it is.
Yeah.
But for something to pop up that I hadn't seen in quite a bit, and you're like, okay, why is that there?
So then let me ask you this: when was the last time you saw a full body apparition?
Probably Cisco, but not Cisco. Something was laying on my
Cisco.
Yeah, right before
something was laying on the couch.
He was laying on the couch. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I've got this theory. I have a messed up theory, but hear me out, okay?
Oh yeah, sure.
When you were watching that show on Sunday, where were you watching it at? Were you watching it in the same room where you saw that thing?
No, actually, I was in the dining room. Usually, just for my own headspace.
Okay, so
I'll move from one room to. I was sitting at the head of my dining room table, and I had my MacBook set up and had all that stuff. More or less. It was sort of like being in the central part of where I needed to hover around for the next few hours.
Yeah.
So.
And actually, it's a very sensible choice because when you're in the dining room, you're like more at attention because you've got to sit up like straight and it helps you focus. So, yeah, that's a sensible choice. So you saw the thing in the living room after the show? Like you walked into the living room afterwards?
No, it was right before I had seen it, probably about an hour before. That day it was crazy.
An hour before.
Yeah.
Okay.
During the show, I did see something kind of, walk by. I can see through directly into the back part of the living room, and I can see into the hallway entrance from the the front foyer into the living room, and I kept seeing a shadow just pop in and out every once in a while during that show. So.
Oh wow. Okay, so do you know what my theory is? Why it kept popping in and out?
Okay, what is?
Here's my theory. It was like, I kind of want to watch this too. This is an interesting show. Can I see? It was like, oh, I like this conversation. Oh, I like that show. And it was like kind of trying to watch. It was trying to like look over your shoulders. Like, I want to see. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was. I loved the show. Definitely that was one of my favorites. I have, watched live.
The reason why I bring up the show is because that episode that we were watching, or that movie, The Haunted, kind of reminds me about your house. I feel like it's kind of like, your house might actually be worse because it's like more on the regular. The Haunted, that was like spread out over 10 years. You know what I mean?
Well, I've been in this house for 6 years, and I went, 6 years total. From the point where I had, moved back in with my left leg thing till now, and I'm about ready to move out of this house to go stay with my mother for an undisclosed amount of time. But I don't know what's going to happen in this house.
Are you looking forward to moving out of that house, or are you like, yeah, I don't need this?
No, it's family. I have to, you got to do something.
Yeah.
Love and responsibility. So you got to do something.
So let me ask, overall, generally, when you look at your house as a whole, or your property, or your home as a whole, are your feelings largely positive or negative towards it?
Oh, there's a lot of love in this whole house.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk through the door, I half expect to see my grandmother, God rest her soul, smoking a cigarette and drinking a cup of coffee at the kitchen table.
Oh, so you do sometimes see like positive apparitions, like, hey, nice to see you.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? Now that you explain it that way, it would be worth living there because I would totally live there. For like just every now and then seeing a positive apparition, I got to deal with like 10 crappy apparitions. I'm like, you know what? Kind of worth it.
Well, whatever is in here
Yeah.
doesn't like certain people. I can honestly say without a doubt.
Certain people.
Certain people.
Does it have a type? So what's the type?
Without naming them or even describe.
No, I don't want names or anything. You know, just in general, like if you have to analyze it.
Negative people, more or less.
People who make bad choices and are unethical and immoral and bad karma people. I'm guessing.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
People who give into their demons and screw other people over and.
Yeah, sure. That's pretty damn close. Yeah.
Is that an accurate assessment?
That's accurate
assessment.
Of
people. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know the type.
Now there's only a handful of people that I can definitely say when they walk through the door and when they walk out, this whole place is just it's stirred up for a while. Even to the point when they were here, shit was thrown at them.
Okay, so what if it was like a really awesome person that came in who was just like totally cool and just like very moral? Nothing happens, or
nothing happens. I'm aware of.
Happens.
There was one.
Like high five them or anything?
No. My little nephew, my great nephew, he came in and he had been seeing what he referred to as neighbor. Hey neighbor's here or whatever. And we had a big cookout or some crap like that. I can't remember what. Some family did get together. We had a lot of people in the house, and he was, typical 5-year-old, and the old boy was just running around screaming SpongeBob at the top of his voice. All of a sudden, he gets quiet, and I think I was in the living room, and I popped on the security cameras, and he was just sitting there, just rubbing his hands together in the hallway out here. And he says, "Neighbor's here." That particular day, that thing left. It got pushed out of the house, and it left.
Wow.
So. And after that, he has never said one thing about neighbor since then. Usually associated with when my sister would come and visit him.
So wait, how'd you get the neighbor to leave?
Somebody pushed him out. I'm not going to name names, but somebody pushed him out.
What was the manner in which they pushed him out? Was it like a prayer, command?
More or less a directive to do so. It wasn't. I don't think they did any prayer. But it was directive.
Like, yo, just get the fuck out of here, kind of like that.
Well, they chased it upstairs.
Yeah.
And then everybody told it to leave. It was upstairs. I distinctly heard several people say leave.
Yeah, I had my own experience like that, but it was very different. I don't know if I want to get into that now, but I'm just trying, because it's reminding me of that. But yeah, I was kind of fascinated about your house, because the more I kept hearing about it, I'm like, yo, Sean's house is crazy haunted,
Well, this has got the old cherry wood. This old place has got cherry everywhere. The bones of it
might be like a geological thing and like a physical thing in addition to all the history, and it's just kind of like a mixed bag of like everything. You know what I mean?
A hodgepodge, probably.
A hodgepodge, right? I feel like your place is like a hodgepodge.
Yeah, I would say so. There's been at least 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 deaths in this place that I'm aware of.
And it's got like a lake underneath it. That's weird. And I know
it has some sort of
about like
it has some sort of natural water something.
Yeah. I feel like that's got to affect things in some way. I'm not saying I know the way or understand like how, but I feel like there is an effect. You know, it kind of, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. Well, I am
Yeah.
a firm believer that water, running water attracts the supernatural, the ether, so to speak. So
And I've watched enough Hellier to know that there's also a correlation with locations, ley lines, minerals in the
like
ground, different
Hellier,
kinds of
Kentucky,
crystals.
Hellier, Kentucky.
Yeah, you know, because
That
they were
is,
talking about in the
I have
documentary.
been to that town so many times. It's literally just 20 minutes. I could be there. It is literally just right around the corner from me.
Is it as active as as they portray it, in your opinion?
That second season, when they got really into the metaphysical stuff, I kind of lost interest in it. But I have heard many cryptid
some of their
stuff around
practices, I gotta say, where I'm just like, come on, really? You're doing that, really? Like the way they would just charge into the cave like that. I'm just like, oh, you gotta.
Yeah, that second season, I was in the first season. I actually enjoyed watching it, and some of the what was it? The troll? It wasn't a troll. What was the little cryptids that they said they saw? I had heard stories about that. My
The
grandmother,
goblin.
goblin. Yeah, there you go. Goblin.
Yeah.
I had heard stories about that when I was a little kid, from my
Yeah.
grandmother, and she was always one of these people that would tell you creepy stuff and say, "Okay, go to bed now. I didn't creep you the fuck out. Go home. Go home or go to bed." You just had to know my grandmother. She
And
just
there's
like
so
that.
many accounts of those goblin type creatures. It can't be ignored. The fact that there's like so many different accounts and they all seem to be around, the same general period of time.
Yeah,
Kind of
that
like the
literally
Roswell
is just a
situation,
one. That literally is just a one red light town. As small as it is smaller than the street I'm on right now. If you take the street I'm on right now, that's literally the
Yeah.
size of Hillier. There's just a few houses with the street that's associated with it. I think
Yeah.
there's like a grocery store there, maybe with an old gas pump, if I remember correctly.
It's like not even its own school district.
Right.
The way it sounds, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a little old place. And there's UFO reports around there all the time. Yeah. Bigfoot
They
sightings
had that
definitely.
one thing. They had that one thing where they said there was a UFO that was hovering there for like 2 hours. Really? I was like, damn. It's just sitting there for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff. There is a
I was like, why wasn't like the news and the military out by then? They would have been out by in 30 minutes, all the news in the military. I was like, where's the news in the military? It's just like random people just.
I know of
really? This is the response?
I know of a secret unknown, a secret hidden base, probably 7 miles from me. That is not on a map.
So not only is your place a paranormal hotspot with the geology and the location and everything, you also have like governments and alien stuff going on like right around you.
Oh yeah. The Army Corps of Engineers.
Yeah, you are in the thick of things. You are like literally in the core thick of things. Wow.
The Army Corps of Engineers came in when I was in the 70s, when I was a little kid. And they were basically the town I live in was, forever and a day, every other year we had a major flood. So the creek that ran down the middle of the town, they supposedly came in and redid the creek, widened it out, deepened it, that kind of deal. But it took forever, and there were so many military trucks. I mean, it was just crazy how many military trucks was around. Now that I look at it from that point of view, I didn't see a lot of earth moving equipment coming around. It was all military, covered, canvas covered.
I do know of a few locations where similar things have been reported. Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's crazy. Now I'll think about it and say, well,
and how far is that from you? Like where you live?
Which one? The base or the base is probably about 7 miles. Actually, where I'm going to be moving, and with my mother is probably 2.5, 3 miles from there, where I'm going to be moving. Literally, my mom's house. She lives in this huge freaking house. I don't know. Literally, I'm just going to be there to be caretaker to make sure she doesn't hurt herself again. But you can walk out of the back door and walk 30 feet, and you're on forestry land. Just cross over the a makeshift wooden planked fence. I mean, you're literally on forestry land. It's a virgin forest, 30 feet from my mom's back door.
So once you go over there, do you think is it going to I don't know, is it going to affect your ability to stream on the regular like you were doing now? Is it going to offer a conducive environment for that?
Yeah, I'll be able to stream. They got the same.
Okay, cool.
They get the same stuff that.
I just had to. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But let's see. Casual G&A asked, "Are you going to keep your home?" I honestly don't know. Right now, I'm caretaker of the place. Sort of, kind of. So I don't know what the family's going to do with the house.
Here's an interesting question. Not that you are going to, or that I suggest, whatever. If you ever were to wind up selling your home to a new buyer or to a new homeowner, and they would ask you, like, so what's going on with the house? What would you say to them?
I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't be involved in the negotiations.
No?
Now, if they, happen to haphazardly, luckily find one of this particular stream and say, okay, you were streaming from this house. What's going on? Why did you say this? I'll just watch the stream.
Exactly. When they ask you, so what's up with the house? You just be like, watch my show at this timestamp, lay it all out,
Oh yeah, there has been so many times. There's been, the folks in the chat have been with me enough. The ones that are regulars probably have said, I have said, hey, I smell cigarette smoke, or I heard something, or whatever.
Yeah.
Over the last 4 years, I've been doing this thing. It's crazy. I'm the only one in here, and then all of a sudden I smell cigarette smoke. And you're like, okay. Actually, I smelled. It hadn't smelled this in a while. The tobacco skull. That loose leaf tobacco that people dip.
Oh yeah.
I smelled that. I hadn't smelled that in a while. It's been probably about a good.
And that's a very distinct smell, by the way, for people who don't know that smell. It's a very distinct smell.
And I don't dip. My brother dipped. My uncle dipped heavily. God rest both those souls. But I was sitting in the dining room doing my usual thing with my laptop and all that stuff. And then I was like, okay, what is that? This happened with probably last 3 days or so. Yeah, 3 days. But, when my aunt and was living here, she would go, she would say, I can smell skull and I can smell my uncle's aftershave lotion, which I think he had Brood or some crap like that. Something really just
again, distinct smell.
Yeah.
Very distinct.
She says, I can smell skull and Brood. And literally she would be in about the same spot I would be. I smelled skull the other day, within probably about 5 feet of where I was, but she would be right at the entrance into the dining room.
The other day?
Yeah, just the other day. About 3 days ago when I was.
Wow.
Maybe 2. I don't know. I didn't put it on the calendar. It was like,
that's pretty strange. Undeniable.
To smell that. It's not a bad smell, but it's so distinct. You're like, okay, what is that? Who's got that? I was like, oh, it's been raining. Why would the house smell like skull when it's been raining? And I've never smelled it in the last 3 years. Nobody's been here chewing tobacco or smoking or anything like that. Last time somebody was smoking in here, or my sister lived here, and that's been 3 years ago. So, don't know. But,
well, Sean, I feel like I've taken up enough of your time. I just wanted to say how.
I appreciate the impromptu interview. Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah.
the interview thing. I hadn't spoke heavily about that in a while. So looks like some people liked it over in the chat. But yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate you calling in, Donnie.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We should do this again sometime. Maybe on you and me and Cisco's show,
Sure.
we have you on. And
absolutely. If you
oh
want
man, shit, I didn't tell Cisco about that. She might be mad. Oh God.
I know Cisco. She'd be all right with it.
She ain't gonna be mad. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna break it to her in the morning. I was like, I may have talked about you on the internet without your consent. I'm sorry. I may have been drunk in the meantime as well. Whoops.
Yeah, you got to watch out. Some people don't like to be talked about without their express written
she knows
permission.
me. She knows how I get. But yeah, man, this was fun. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate you calling in, buddy.
So thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. We'll talk again soon.
Bye. Okay. Bye. All right, Donnie Cho. Holy cow. That was interesting. However long, I don't know how long that was, but can you believe we have been doing this for about 2 hours now? Right at it. I'll give it about 15 more minutes on the show. If you want to call in 931-994-6917. I don't know what the heck's going on with my audio. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I go back in here. Audio. Nope. The audio test is not working. That's the crazy thing right there. Let's see. Stream virtual. Nope. That's about it. Don't know. All right. I would drop another link in the chat, but I think I pretty well, for whatever reason, my audio is foobarred in the background on my Mac. But if you want to call the number 931-994-6917, if you got any questions in the chat, let me know. Put a big Q or a question and whatever it is. Let me know if you got any particular ideas, questions, comments. Let's see. Jean Paul. I believe I've already said howdy, but howdy. Appreciate you. Jennifer Metzger. Now, that lady has a superb, my opinion, is one of the best Dogman cryptid stories ever going. Totally 100% believer. She got some hot pockets that I don't know what the hell was going on with them, but hot pockets are hot pockets. And got a lot of psychosis going on with those folks. So, and my family's going to keep the home DNA as far as I know. But that being said, families do families. Doll says, Sean, age 12, my first encounter with Holy Spirit, I encountered a bad headache. I said, Lord, when I remove my hand from my forehead, I trust and believe I will be healed. 30 seconds pain-free. Amen. Well, there you go. I absolutely believe that. There has been a time or two that I have been able to relieve pain, either by remotely praying or focusing on somebody or just touching them. Been able to do that. Not sure why or how, but have been able to. Let's see. Anybody else? Thanks, Marquita, for dropping all those links in there. If you are interested or you like the smelly variety of interesting fragrances, Blue Moon Scents. I'm not getting paid for this. This is just a friend of mine that has a startup company. If you like bath bombs, he has literally perfected the ultimate bath bomb formula. Oh, let's see. Cancel. Give me just a second. We'll get this caller on the conversation here. Okay, unscreen caller, you're on there. What's your name and where from?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sean. This is GNA.
Hey, what is going on with you?
I'm good. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, I wish I had some sort of wait a minute. Oh, actually, I probably do. Give me just a second. Let me find a quick something. Oh, here we go. Golf clap. There you go for the first time caller. So, what's going on with you? How is California weather holding out?
It's great, actually. It was warm today, so I was out in my garden, kind of, planting a little bit. So it was nice.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. But I had a quick story for you. Now that you're talking about your home,
Okay.
well, when we first moved um, here to the city that I'm at, um, our parents, we actually moved from LA, and my mom was like, "Hey, we're gonna move because I'm tired of living here, and I don't like this house. It has bad energy." And so we ended up moving here. Or, I don't know if I should say where, but we ended up moving here where we're at now, and it was a nice house. It's like half an acre. So they were like, yeah, we can have little animals and things. And so I think we moved here, I want to say 2004. And weird things would happen around the house. Like one time, thankfully nothing ever happened to me because I don't think I'm susceptible to that type of stuff. But
Yeah.
my sister would always see shadows. My parents' room, like at a certain time, the door would open at night and then it would just stay open. And then what else would happen? There was like a lot of weird stuff. It was like a certain time of the year that we would have more activity around the house and we would hear noises. And so people would come over and they would say, "Hey, I think there's somebody here in your house." And we're like, "No, no way. This is like, our house feels good. Like there's no bad energy, no like weird stuff." And so my grandfather, he came in to stay with us for a few months. And he would always say, "There's a man that sits in the dining table early in the morning." I want to say like at 5 o'clock, like 5 a.m. And we were like, "No, Grandpa, you're seeing stuff." Like I didn't want to believe it. My parents didn't want to believe it because they were like, "We moved out of the other house because it was haunted. So we're not trying to come to this house and for it to be haunted as well." So we just brushed it off. We're like, "Okay, there's nothing there." It's like, it's just people that think that they see stuff, but there isn't. And another person came and they said, "Oh, I see a man with a hat in your backyard walking around." And so we just thought people were just maybe bringing stuff, or it was just, like we didn't think that there was something there. So I ended up getting a job here in town, and one of the people that worked there was an older man. He's like, "Hey, you live in that house. I remember seeing you not that long ago there. My mom lives around the corner from you." And I was like, "Oh, cool. That's nice." And he's like, "Do you know what happened there?" And I was like, "Wait, I don't want to know." Like, as if it's scary, I don't want to know. And he was like, "Well, okay, fine. I won't tell you." I was like, "Well, no, now you have to tell me." And so he told me that there had been a murder in my house. And he's like, there was a little living room and the owner of that house was murdered there. And I was like, dude, like I got chills. I was like, no way. Like I can't even tell my parents this. This is crazy. And he's like, yeah. So I told him, "Okay, tell me the story about what happened." And so he said that the man, that the owner of the house, his wife had been cheating on him, and they kind of, I guess her and the lover came up with a plan to murder him to keep the house and I guess he had insurance money.
Oh, okay.
And so what they did, and it gets darker because it was sad. So basically they had two kids. They had a 14-year-old and a younger daughter. So the son was 14 and the daughter was younger. And so she, I guess, turned the little boy by telling him, your dad's been molesting your sister, and you have to do something about it. So they ended up kind of like brainwashing him against his father. And so he said, the man told me that the night before the killing, he was, I guess the little boy, the 14-year-old, showed him his gun because they were friends. They went to high school together, or school. I don't know if it was middle school or high school. And they were playing with I guess he had a shotgun. And so the next day, they ended up finding out that he went into the room because he was in a recliner, and he shot him in the head from the back. He shot his own father. And so
Wow.
It's a crazy story. I was like, I can't believe this. It sounds crazy.
So this happened in the house. Did sometimes you hear like if somebody gets shot or passes away with blood loss, that there may be a stain that they can't get rid of or paint over or something like that. Was there something like that?
Okay, so yeah, because we did find something, but basically what I did, because after he told me the story, I went online. He gave me the name of the man, and I went online and I found old archived newspapers where it showed our house, and it had the story of what had happened. And so I was kind of like, should I tell my parents? I kind of feel bad, I don't want to. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'm going to tell them. So I told my parents, and my mom was really upset. She's like, oh no, like we got to do something about it. And so, we called the priest. He came out and he cleansed the house, and we did like a little, I guess like a little mass for him, so he can like rest in peace and move on. And but we ended up eventually, yes, we removed the carpet in that room, and there was like a big stain. And so we were thinking, I think my dad had said, like he didn't think anything of it at the time, but after he remembered, he's like, yeah, do you guys remember that big stain? I think that's where he was murdered. And I was like, oh, dude, like, I don't want to know. This is crazy. But, after we did all that, we did the, prayer intentions for him and things like that. And we can tell that the activity, like it stopped for a little bit, and it wasn't as intense as it was before. But I know my mom we did sage around the house, and we kind of talked to him, and we told him, we're sorry about what happened, and you just need to move on or go into the light. And, like, I think it kind of helped. I don't know if he actually, moved on, but it did help with the activity, I want to say. So it was really shocking for us to find that out. And so as of now, my mom says that sometimes the door will open, but she doesn't feel the energy or the presence like it was before. And then the time where the activity would be like heightened was, I think, around the time where he was killed. So that like month was when there was like more activity. But now it's been okay, but it was a shock for us, and it was sad and scary at the same time.
Wow. So so the doors are still opening by themselves?
Yeah, she says, my mom told me that, because I no longer live there. But I do go and visit and stuff because I live with, my own home now. But she says that it does still open at a certain time at night. But she's like, you know what, I'm okay. Like if he's still around, he's not aggressive. Like he's never like tried to do anything or move things or scare anybody. So she's like, if he's still here, that's fine. He can hang out. Yeah.
Well, I don't mind, curious spirits, but if the big thing about here is waking up in the middle of the night and it's like you're intruding on my space. I'm sleeping. Don't bother me while I'm sleeping. Other than that,
Yeah.
Crazy
I mean,
dreams, bug me every once in a while, but I'll get rid of them.
you said screams?
Dreams, dreams.
Oh, dreams. Oh, I
I've
was like,
heard.
screams? That's crazy.
No, I've actually heard
No.
disembodied voices in here. So uh, I have heard ladies' voices. I've heard what I thought. I've heard my dad's voice. I've heard my brother's voice. I've heard my uncle's voice, which kind of, it sort of sound like me, but not exactly sound like me. But they're so distinct, and you're like, okay, you know, my brother, after he passed away, within just a few weeks, my sister was still living here at the time. She texted me and said, "Hey, I just heard Travis yell my name." So I got up. It was probably late at night, probably about it was 11 o'clock here right now, probably about that time. So I go to the bedroom next door. Said, "Are you sure you heard this?" "Yeah, I just heard this." It's like, "Hey, Robin," just like he was just doing that.
Wow.
Later on,
Wow.
it was probably that was probably late in the winter. When I heard him, it was probably mid spring, and I distinctly heard him outside say, "Hey, Sean," yelling my name like he wanted to get, like he was outside. Oh crap! I just knocked the heck out of my microphone. He just pulled up in his truck and rolled down his window and didn't want to honk his horn or something like that. "Hey, Sean," and it was so distinct.
Wow.
I was like, "Wow!" You know, I woke
Yeah.
up to my dad calling my name. Uh, when that type of deal, you've got this thing where you kind of wake up from a dream and you can superimpose whatever you're dreaming at the time on either the environment that you're in or hear audibly whatever you're dreaming. I kind of pondered off on that, but not exactly. I have not dreamt of my dad since he's passed. He passed on the day that I was released after 3 months in the hospital. I have not dreamt of him yet, other than if you call
Wow.
that little section of or that little minute voice of him talking to me and waking me up.
Mhm.
So other than that, that's it. I rarely dream about family. That's weird.
Yeah, and and they say, like, I've heard or watched documentaries about people when they pass, that they get a few moments after to go and visit family.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing about it is, well, it's not funny, it's sad, but crazy thing about it is that my dad, one of our uncles, he was really close with him. He passed away. And my dad said that he came, he opened the door because he's like, oh, it's probably the same dude, the same guy that opens the door at night. But he said that the door opened and he was like sleeping and he felt somebody put his hand on him, like a heavy hand on his shoulder. And then he kind of woke up and he was like, oh, I know it's you, like he knew it was my uncle visiting him and saying bye because he had just passed. And he kind of said, oh, I'll see you later.
Right.
And he said that it just like the hand just lifted and left. And he's like, I knew it was him because I can sense him. And also because he would always do that. He would come to the house and he would always place his hand on his shoulder. And I was like, and when he told me that, I was like, wow. So I guess, it's possible that maybe they come and say bye, or, maybe, I don't know, could we subconsciously just think that it's them, but it's too coincidental. So it was pretty interesting thinking about that.
Yeah. Well, think about it. How many people that I don't know, your personal history, if you've had a lot of people pass that you loved, friends, family, or whatever. How many times have you distinctly been visited, or chalked it up to, yeah, that might have been so and so coming by and saying goodbye for the last time or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't know. In the realm of possibilities, I can see that happening. When it comes to what God's will is, if it's not in the Bible and God still wills it, why not? That's the way I say it.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so I just wanted to call in for the last few minutes and just share my story and say hi to everybody in the chat.
Oh, they love your
There's
story so far. I haven't seen anybody say
Yeah.
anything other than positive stuff about you.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely go over to Casual Conversations with GNA, their YouTube channel. I think I gave you a wrench. Drop your link in the chat for the
okay.
folks.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody that's
But
got a wrench and you got a channel that you want to promote, you're more than happy to. I'm more than happy to let you do it. Me casa is su casa. As long as you got a wrench, you can drop a link. You're not going to hear
awesome.
me fuss
Well,
unless it's a bot.
well, thank you.
Well, thank you for calling in.
I'm gonna jump back in the chat.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Casual Conversations with GNA. Wow. So, have you ever been in a place that had a rather severe disembodied death? Somebody got stabbed, cut, shot, thrown down the stairs, or whatever, and the mark of whatever that death still haunts that place. Say like the blood stain. There's a story that my grandmother used to talk about when we were kids, that they used to live over in a place called Tom's Creek nearby here. And this old house, when my dad and uncle and aunt were small, they were talk about the place being haunted. They could hear somebody run up the stairs and walk down the stairs. And my grandfather actually shot at his Winchester 22 bolt action rifle at something that he couldn't see, but something was running down the highway or road, cackling. But they, just adds to the story. But the walking up and down the stairs with nobody visibly there on the stairs, my grandmother said that she got, my grandmother was one of those sensitives, I guess. Yeah, she was sensitive. So she pulled up the boards in the on the staircase, and lo and behold, she finds this cloth. I believe it was a ripped shirt or something that had blood stains all over, old dried blood. And said that she took that out and burnt it and buried it, if I remember correctly, and replaced the boards. And all of a sudden, the footsteps up and down the stairs stopped. So there you go. That's the creepy stuff. But have you ever heard stories, of blood stains that would not go away, or whatever stains that did not go away, they paint over it, and within a fair amount of time it would pop back up? I don't know. All right, folks, I think I've had 2 hours and 14 minutes of this. Looks like nobody's else going to call in. Hey, Keith, what's going on? How's Jimmy doing? How's your dad, Jimmy? Did you ever get to talk with that fellow about the puka? Or was it I forgot what you were trying to get the final statement from that gentleman, what he was going to tell you something about. But Red, I'll definitely say a prayer for you guys over there. I hadn't said a prayer for you today, which I'm going to remedy that here in just a little bit. But yeah, there you go. All right, folks. Rothian, I appreciate that. I hate that you had an anxiety attack. I have had my fair share of anxiety attacks, so I know exactly what you're talking about. But let me pull up, let's see, final prayer. I pulled one up that I wanted to read and pray. I like this perimeter prayer. Ripperger, Father Ripperger, wrote a big book, and I think he came out with I forgot what his new book is, but he has a series of Catholic exorcism rites and prayers and whatnot. And this actually comes from this page 39 of Larry, Lairy, comes from this particular book. And it's called a perimeter prayer. And I love it. And it actually does work. It has worked for me. I think I actually shared this with Red privately. So, Lord Jesus Christ, in thy love and mercy, establish a perimeter of protection around myself, my listeners, and anybody who has participated in this show or will listen to this show, and all our loved ones, those who pray for us and their loved ones. May the holy angels guard us and all our possessions, establishing a perimeter of protection around us, rendering us immune from any kind of demonic influence. I ask that no demonic bondage, door, demonic entity, portal, astral protection, or disembodied spirit may enter the space of 100 yards in all directions of us. Ask that any demons within this vicinity, or any that should try to enter here, be rendered deaf, dumb, and mute, and blind, that thou would strip them of all weapons, armor, power, illusions, and authority, that there would bind, rebuke, and disable them from communicating and interacting with each other in any way. Remove them, sending them directly to the foot of thy cross, Jesus, Son of the Most High. I ask this in thy glorious and most holy name. Amen. Please, dear God, send your angels of protection to Little Bit in Red's house. Protect them and get rid of any evil spirits that they may not want in their house. Please, dear God, be with those that are sick, that are weak, that are need aid with their body, mind, or spirit. Please, dear God, send your angels of mercy and healing to those folks that are in need. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. All right, folks. Thank you for all the kind attention. You heard me ramble for 2 hours. Thanks to Donnie Cho for giving me that impromptu Q&A about this old house I'm in. And let's see. Chase for calling in and casual conversations with Jen. All three of those fine folks. God bless y'all. And wow. Yeah, good night, Keith. I appreciate you being a part of the show. He's okay. Let's see. Keith says he's okay. I've talked to him yet, Sean. He's not well, but got other stories, but want to put them all together. That sounds good. Here's a little thing in your for you. Some of us has awesome, great stories that when whoever you reference in your mind, once they pass away, those stories are gone. If they haven't been told to you or anybody else, those stories are gone unless they've been wrote, shared. So if you know somebody that has a story or a history, or they got stories, or know something that you don't know, talk to them. Easy and simple, and it might lighten their life a little bit. Saying, "Hey, I can give you half a damn about you. Tell me a story about when you grew up or while you're living, before I wouldn't have an idea about." But definitely, talk to those folks. May improve their life, even for a moment. But God bless y'all, and keep it between the mayonnaise and the mustard, as Chase says. So, and good night, Marquita. Let's see who else is in here. Keith, Pepe, Laura, Crystal. Let's see, Blues and G, John, Bonita, Red, Doll, Rothian, Trina, Marquita. Well, I've already said Marquita. Like I said her name twice. There you go. Dark woods. I have no dreams I remember. Some people are like that. Crazy thing is drugs that you take can have a adverse or a stirring effect with dreams. Make them worse and make them better, or just totally take them away. And let's see, Trina. Let's see who else is Don. Hey, buddy. Right at the first of the show, Don, I did show that picture you sent to me in email with those 3 tree snaps pointing in the same direction. So put that out there for you. Full disclosure, that was Don Johnson's photograph at the front of the show. Dawn, and then Lakea's show. Definitely go over to Lakea's show. She took a respite, and I think she's wanting to do reviews. So I'll try to hook you up with Blue Moon Scents and see what we can do there for you. I think you two will hit it off. And then Jennifer Metzger, and who else is in here? Tyrell Tin Bear. I like that name. That is a awesome name, man. That's a bit stimulate. Hey, brother, I hope you're doing all right. I ain't seen you in about a hot minute. I know you lost your mother not too long ago. I hope everything has kind of calmed down in your life and gotten better. Sharon, and anybody else? Shell F. Make sure I have at least Destiny. Destiny lost her cat, but the cat come back 3 days later. Apparently, it wanted to hide in the garage. Crazy cats. But anyway, God bless y'all. I will be back Friday with Southern Supernatural. My co-host Tina Bice, and Daniel D. the Borzan will be there. We'll be doing open lines. We don't have a scheduled guest. I think the scheduled guest that we had a death in the family, and we just haven't been able to replace that guest. But I believe, no pun intended, we'll have a fantastic show with those 2 ladies and me kind of doing whatever with them. So, Neil, what's up? All right, I believe that's it. I think I'm about done with this. Folks over on the Paranormal Radio app, I appreciate you popping in, listening for a little bit. Also over on YouTube in the Chasing the Truth Sean G, and then over on the One Seanster over on my Twitter. I'm doing live over there, and then Chasing the Truth over on Facebook. Appreciate y'all. See you next Friday. Have a good one.